Yes, guys, yes, people, welcome back to Light Talks Football and welcome to another episode of Premier League predictions. Now, I do apologize for not doing last week's one as I was so busy and preparing myself, to get back to college, which is about 3 days' time since today is Friday. So I really do apologize, but I will go over my Premier League predictions last weekend um tomorrow. So make sure you guys check that out. So yeah, I do apologize for not doing the predictions, but tomorrow I'm gonna go over, see how many points I've got, and talking about the what happened during that game. So there we go. So I do apologize. But yeah, since I haven't got anything to do today, the Premier predictions is back. And we're on match day or game week number 33. So there's five games to go, and some teams do have game in hand as well. So yeah, it's going to be a bit more than that. So there we go. And then next week we got the FA Cup. So honestly, the fixtures are going, absolutely crazy. But I think the Premier League just sorted it out. So I will give you the new dates for May because that's when they've done and that's when yesterday they done the announcement saying that these are the fixtures that's going to happen in May. So yeah, so there we go for that one. So yeah, still it's still 5 to 8 games to go, or even more for some teams. I mean, it's going fast. It really is going fast. So the title race is still on. The battle for European place is still on. So yeah, let's see which team will win the title, which team will finish in the European places, and which team will get relegated. Because it can only be one. Because Sheffield United and Burnley for me are relegated. Even though the Premier League doesn't say that, for me they'll go down. But there's one other team, yeah, that would join them in the championship next season. Would it be Everton? Would it be Luton Town? Would it be, so we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see. So for now to the end of the season, we'll see who's relegated, who's won the title, and who's finished in European places. Chelsea will not be a part of this because, we're shit. We're absolutely shit. So there you go. But yeah, make sure you guys are smashing a like on this video, hitting the subscribe button, share this video with everybody, and also hit the notification that you never miss any of my content on this channel. So without further ado, let's get to move on. So the first game is a lunchtime kickoff between Newcastle and Tottenham at St James Park, and it starts at 12:30 p.m. kickoff. Now, of course, Tottenham don't particularly do well at 12 p.m. kickoffs. I think the last time I remember they went on a Saturday lunchtime is that 1-0 win against Luton. I think that's it. I can't remember the other times that they've done well at 12:30 p.m. kickoff, but the Newcastle one against West Ham. Oh, what a game that was. I mean, listen, both teams are battling out for the European places. Newcastle are battling out for the Europa League, whereas for Tottenham, they're battling out to finish in the top four because as Villa can still catch up to them if Tottenham lose, don't beat Newcastle United. So yeah, so as it stands right now, Tottenham are in fourth, Aston Villa are in fifth. Whereas for Newcastle, they are just 2 points behind the Europa League places. So yeah, listen, it's a must win for either one of those teams. Like if both them draw, then I don't think that's good enough for them. So only one team needs to win for tomorrow's game. So that's I'm looking forward to that game. And of course, we all know what happened last season when it ended 6-1 to Newcastle. Newcastle were 5 goals, scored 5 goals in 20 minutes. They absolutely obliterated Tottenham and destroyed them. And was it Alexander Isak or Danny? I forgot the player's name when he scored that goal and he was doing a surprise face. I've forgotten, I can't remember. But yeah, that was when Antonio Conte was sacked, and that's when Tottenham were absolutely horrible last season. So yeah, of course, Harry Kane scored. That was it, and then I forgot who scored the sixth goal. But yeah, I mean, and that was the time where the phones were doing emergency alarms. So there we go. So that was last season. But listen, this season is completely different. Tottenham are doing particularly well this season. Well, and under Postecoglou, for Newcastle, not so much. But listen, going to St James Park still ain't gonna be that easy. It still ain't because when Liverpool went there, they had to score two late goals in order for them to get the win. When Man City went there, um, they um, they just scored a late winner, 4-3. When Chelsea went there, they got destroyed 4-1. When Arsenal went there, they've lost 1-0 via a controversy. Who else am I missing? Did Man United face them? I think they did, and I think they've lost 2-0, something like that. I think so. But yeah, still going to St. James Park ain't gonna be that easy. The atmosphere is gonna be great, so yeah. So for this game, I don't see Newcastle beating them 6-1 again. Like imagine if he does that again, the the Tottenham are absolutely useless. But listen, I feel like Newcastle are going to get that win, and they need to if they want to catch up to the likes of Man United. And let's not forget, if they do win, because and if Newcastle win and Man United drop points against Bournemouth, which I'll get to in just a minute, they'll be in sixth place and they'll be in the European places. So yeah, it's not over for them. So they're in eighth place. And if they want to finish in sixth, they need to make sure that West Ham and Man United drop points. So yeah, and for Aston Villa, of course, they'll be watching that game because if Tottenham lose and if Aston Villa beat Arsenal, which I don't think will happen, then they'll be back in the top four. So like I said, the title race is on, the European places is on, and the relegation zone is on. So that's why I'm looking forward from the rest of the fixtures from now until until the final day. So it's going to be very interesting. So yeah, for this game tomorrow, I'm going to predict a. Should I go? Yeah, I'm going to predict a 3-1 because Alexander Isak is on fire. He's been scoring goals for Newcastle, and of course they did draw points against Everton, which I didn't expect. Um, but listen. Tottenham, when it comes to the first half, they don't particularly do well. Like, especially teams that are in the relegation zone. Like, look at the Nottingham Forest game, you know. They take the lead, but then Nottingham Forest scored. And I believe that James Madison was very, very lucky, yeah, not to get sent off the way he punched that Nottingham Forest player, which I've forgotten. But yeah, so I think if Tottenham want to win, like make sure that they secure 3 points, I feel like they need to improve in the first half. Like they stop need to like do well, not do well in the first half, but then to particularly do better in the second half, if you know what I mean. So they need to change that. They really do need to change that. But I think it's going to happen again. So that's why I think for Newcastle, they will create more chance, they'll dominate possession, and I feel like they will get that win. So that's what I'm going to be thinking. So yeah, the goal scorers for that one. Alexander Isak to score twice, and Anthony Gordon to score as well. For Tottenham, I'm gonna go for Son Heung-min to score the only goal. So yeah, 3-1 to Newcastle is my prediction for that game tomorrow. Right. The next one is Brentford up against Sheffield United. Give me a moment, guys. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch that game, but that one ended in a 3-3 draw. I believe that Aston Villa were 2-0 up, and then let me see how it happened. Yeah, Aston Villa were 2-0 up, but then But then Unai Emery was this, and his team were this close to actually bottling it because when we said scored, it was 3-2. And I'm like, how did Aston Villa bottle this one? But luckily, Ollie Watkins, who scored twice, by the way, saved them. And they had so many chances to win that game. But yeah, I mean, that game was entertaining, It really, really was. But unfortunately for Aston Villa, I predicted a win, but it actually ended in a draw. So yeah, but listen, um, but listen, Brentford, for me, still are doing well this season because they're only 4 points above the relegation. So they need to get this win. But they're up against Sheffield United. In the last couple of results, they're particularly doing well. They've won their last, they've won the first, they've won their game and then they drew against Fulham, and they drew against Chelsea. So Sheffield United are starting to pick up a bit, but I still think them and Burnley will get relegated, so there's no point. But Sheffield United are starting to really pick up well. And like I said in the game against Chelsea, when I went those stats, they were the far better team when it comes to more shots, more aerial duels, more defending, more shots on targets. Like they were better than us, and they could have won it at the end. So there we go. So yeah, for this one, um, even though it's at the Gita Community Stadium, Brentford still haven't got that win. I can't remember the last. They still haven't got wins so far ever since that one against Bournemouth, I believe, or something like that. So yeah, for this game, I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw because Brentford, like it's a must win for them because if Everton, Forest and Luton Town get that win, then Brentford are in serious trouble under Thomas Frank. So they need to get that win. But they're not particularly doing well at Chichita Community Stadium because it used to be a stadium here where it's a difficult place to go to, but it's not anymore. Even though teams are not winning, they're picking up points, at least a point. So that's what I think Sheffield United are going to do. They're going to pick up a point and they're going to put more misery on on Brentford. So yeah, I'm going to go for 1-1 draw. The goal scorers, Ivan Tony to score for Sheffield United, Ollie McBurney. So yeah, those are going to be the goal scorers for that game tomorrow. So yeah, Brentford 1, Sheffield United 1. It's going to be my prediction for that one. Right. The next one is Burnley up against Brighton. Of course, Burnley, um, I think Burnley drew their last game. And I know that Brighton have lost 3-0 against Newcastle. What was their last game? Yeah, actually, no, they've lost. Okay, they lost against Everton and they're down to 10 men. So, yeah, there we go. So, yeah, Burnley against Brighton. Um, is that tough more? So yeah, I see this being another draw, like another 1-1, because like I said, Burnley and Sheffield United will get relegated. For Brighton, they lost 3-0 against Newcastle after they started off really, really well, but they just knew that Arsenal are in a tight race, they're a much better team. And Leandro Trossard scores against his older club, and he even celebrated. So that's interesting. But yeah, so yeah, they've lost 3-0. So right now, Brighton are in 10th with a game in hand. Um, so it looks like Brighton's hope for European places is can still happen, but if they don't go on a winning form starting from tomorrow, then I feel like their European places is over, just like it is for Chelsea. So listen, they're 5 points behind Manchester, sorry, 6 points by Manchester United with a game in hand. So, yeah, Brighton need to get this win. But listen, Burnley, they're starting to, even though they lost against Everton, they're starting to, after the international break, they drew against, who did they draw against? They drew against Chelsea and they also drew against Fulham, I believe, or something like that. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna go for 1-1 draw because Brighton away from home aren't particularly good. Turf Moor still a difficult place to go to, even though they've only won once, and that was against Sheffield United. So yeah, I'm going to go for 1-1 draw. The goal scorer, that's for Fodder to score for Burnley. For Brighton, Danny Welbeck to score for them. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Burnley and Brighton for that game tomorrow. Right. The next one is Manchester City versus Luton Town at the Etihad Stadium. Now, of course, Manchester City, who I did a live watch along by the way on Tuesday, drew 3-3 against Real Madrid, and that was an entertaining game. And by the way, guys, I do like to apologize for missing a Champions League game on Wednesday's Champions League games and yesterday's Europa League games. Wednesday, I was actually feeling a bit tired because I had to go to my music lesson and then we had to go for my appointment. So I do apologize for that one. Yesterday, I was not feeling too well. I was feeling cold, like my notes just kept I had to my notes just kept on, yeah, I had to say bless you so many times. So I was cold, so I had to drink plenty of water, so I wasn't too feeling well. But yeah, I will go for those games, particularly the English clubs, in just a minute. But yeah, the Man City one against Real Madrid was the entertaining game. 3-3. Like I said, Man City scored within 90 seconds with Bernardo Silva's free kick. But then Real Madrid in the 10th, 12th minute made it 2-1. And then Phil Foden scored a wicked goal. And Garfield did the exact same thing. Curlers in both in different positions. But then Valverde with a brilliant volley, bottom right left hand corner to make it 3-3. And that was entertaining. Now, I'm not sure why Kevin De Bruyne didn't start that game. Is because many people told me, including Man City fans, told me that he was feeling sick, which I believe that's a lie because Man City's last game was against Crystal Palace, and I didn't see anything wrong with him. If he was sick, then that's fine, but I don't believe that's true. So hopefully he's feeling. I think he's feeling better, and I believe he will start this game. Now, many people going for 5-0, but listen, Luton Town will play some really good football because their last game was at home, and they beat. Who did they beat at home? Yeah, they beat Bournemouth 2-1, you know. So I didn't expect that. So listen, even though I believe Man City will win this game, but I don't think it's gonna be a 5-0. I think Luton will just will defend really well. I feel like they will create chances, but I think Man City are going to dominate possession. They're going to have more chances than Luton Town, and I believe they'll get that 2-0 win. So that's going to be my prediction. So it's not going to be easy for Manchester City, but I feel like they will get the job done because Luton are fighting for their lives. And look at that, you know, and if they at least get a point or win against Manchester City, they'll go from 18th to 16th, depending on the other results for Everton and Nottingham Forest. So yeah, but I still think Man City will get that win. And Rodri is still the best DM in the league because 65 games, whenever he starts, he doesn't lose at all, at all. So Rodri is a key player, and he's their best player for them. You know, if because without Rodri, Man City are in deep trouble. They need him. So Rodri is particularly doing well. So in all competitions, when he starts for Manchester City, he doesn't lose. A couple draws, but mostly wins in the last 65 games in all competitions. So Rodri is the guy, man. He's the guy. So yeah, so I'm gonna go for 2-0 to Manchester City. The goal scorers, Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden. And the reason why I didn't predict Erling Haaland to score for this game is because of the last couple of games, he has been looking a bit slightly off. I know he scored against Crystal Palace. But in the game against Aston Villa, he didn't do well. In the game against Arsenal, um, Gabriel and Saliba locked him up. And in the game against Real Madrid, he looked a bit quiet. So I don't know what's going on with Erling Haaland, but I did say to you guys that this season he will not beat his previous record, which is 36 goals. So I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't think it's going to happen. So, but yeah, he's still first place in terms of goal scorers, but many teams like the likes of Mo Salah, Ollie Watkins, Palmer, they're catching up to them. So Erling Haaland just needs to improve, but I think he'll be I think there's going to be another game where he's going to be a bit quiet, and that's going to be really disappointed for him. But I still think Manchester City get um will win this game. So I'm going to go for 2-0 with a clean sheet as well. So there we go. Right. The next one is Nottingham Forest versus Wolves. Now, before I talk about this one, I've heard Wolves manager and their fans and the players complaining about the equalizer. And for me, for once, I have to disagree with Gary O'Neill because before that, when he's complaining about VAR, I agree with him. That the VAR didn't give decisions their own way. But for the very first time, I have to disagree with Gary O'Neill because that Wolves equalizer was the right decision by VAR. That was the right decision because there was one I forgot who scored, but he was also offside. But the guy that was marking Fabianski was offside, and he was blocking Fabianski. And you can see that Fabianski didn't move at all. He really didn't move. And you know the rules by now. If you're in the offside position, despite your teammate scoring, if you were in an offside and you block the goalkeeper, that's going to be disallowed. So for me, I don't get why Gary O'Neill and the fans and the players are complaining. For me, it was the right decision because the Wolves player was offside and he was blocking Fabianski and Fabianski didn't even move. So to me, I have to disagree with Gary O'Neill on that one. For me, the VR got it absolutely spot on. So yeah, and by the way, I did say 2-1 to West Ham, so I got that one right. I got that one right. So I got the 3 points. So there we go. But yeah, Wolves are away to Forest. So that is the Midlands derby, of course. Forest in the east, Wolves in the west. So it's the Midlands derby. Now, of course, also the Forest's last game um was against who was it against? Oh yeah, Tottenham, which they've lost 3-1. But their last home game was 3-1 win against Fulham. Now for now listen, now listen, both Nottingham Forest and Luton are in the same points. So if Nottingham Forest um win that game, and if Everton drop points, which I don't think they will, they'll go from 17th to 16th. So but if Everton beat Chelsea, they'll go back. So like I said, the fight for the relegation zone is going to be interesting because look at this. The teams, yeah, who could potentially go down this season are Palace, Brentford, yeah, sorry, Fulham, Palace, Brentford, Everton, Forest, and Luton Town. Bournemouth are safe. Um, Wolves are safe. Teams who got 40 points or more will be safe, so they will not be relegated. So yeah, so Fulham, if they wait, what's Fulham is his next game? Oh yeah, I'll get to that one in just a minute. But yeah, if Fulham win their next game, then they'll stay up. What is Fulham's is? Oh yeah, they're up against West Ham United. Okay, I'll get to that one in just a minute. But yeah, if Fulham win their next game, then they are safe. So they're gonna be exempt. So they're not on 40 points just yet. But if they win and if they don't lose that game, like if they get a draw or win, then they'll be safe. But I'll talk more about Fulham in just a moment. But yeah, Palace, Brentford, Everton, Forest, Luton. Only one team can get relegated, so we're gonna have to wait and see. And yes, some teams do have game in hand, so that's going to be very interesting. But yeah, Burnley, Sheffield United are relegated, so who will join them? That's going to be interesting. But yeah, Forest against Wolves. Um, you know, um, I mean, Forest did have plenty of chances, especially in the first half, to take the lead, but they hit the post. They had to make for Carl make brilliant save. So yeah, but listen, this game is at the City Ground. It's still a difficult place to go to. So I'm gonna go for Nottingham Forest 3-1 win against Wolves. The goals for that one. Let's see. Callum Hudson-Odoi, um, Adebayor for Nottingham Forest, and not sure who else is scoring that one. And for Wolves, Pedro Neto or Wang Hee-chan. I'm not sure what's happening to Wang Hee-chan, but oh well. But yeah, I think Nottingham Forest are going to get that win, and I feel like Wolves are going to lose that game because I know that they'll be disappointed, but I'm hoping that they will be thinking to themselves, the referee got it right because he was in an offside position. He blocked Fabianski, and yeah, so I hope they watch that back, and I hope they change their mind. If they didn't, then sorry, I have to disagree with them. I really have to. But yeah, but focus on this one. 3-1 Sons of Forest. Feel like they will bounce back after that 3-1 defeat against Tottenham, and they have to win. Otherwise, they're in serious trouble. They really could be in serious trouble. So yeah, 3-1 to Nottingham Forest is my prediction for that one. Right. The next one, Saturday night football, 5:30 p.m. kickoff. Bournemouth at home to Manchester United. And of course, Manchester United have um have picked up a point in the last two games, whereas for Bournemouth, they got 3 points in the last two games because Bournemouth um lost against Luton Town. Um they've lost against Luton Town, but they beat Crystal Palace 1-0. So in the last two games, Bournemouth have got more points than Manchester United in the last two games. So there we go. And this game, by the way, is at Vitality Stadium. Now, I do know that Manchester United got a point against Liverpool. And do I think that was a penalty? 50-50. But Manchester United, we all know that they bottled it. You know, in the game against Chelsea, no, in the game, yeah, in the last three games, they absolutely bottled it. In the game against Brentford, Mason Mount scored a late winner, 1-0, but they allowed Brentford to score a late equalizer, 1-1. In the game against Chelsea, I think it was in the 96th minute, they were 3-2 up after they were 2-0 down, in the first half. They made it 2-2. Anthony Gordon scored to make it 3-2. All they needed to do was hold on, but they couldn't. They really couldn't. And Chelsea scored two late goals from Cole Palmer to make it 4-3. In the game against Liverpool, they were 1-0 down in the first half. Luckily enough, they were 2-1 up from Liverpool's mistakes, and they couldn't hold on. Wan-Bissaka conceding a penalty. Like I said, I'm 50-50. So you all know that Manchester United is bottling it. And for me, the top four is over for them because I don't see them catching up the likes of Villa and Tottenham, who got 60 points. I don't see that happening. So for top four for Manchester United, it's over. But they'll finish. But they'll finish in Europe. They really will finish in Europe. It's the Europa League, not the Champions League. So yeah, for this game, I feel like Manchester United, I feel like Man United are going to do the same thing again, like they did in the last three games after the international break. So, yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Bournemouth win because I think Manchester United will take the lead from maybe Bruno Fernandes. But I think Bournemouth, I feel like Man United will go 1-0 up at half time. But I think Bournemouth will do so much better in the second half. And they'll score two goals, or maybe it could be more than that, and they'll get that win. For Bournemouth, either way, I want Man United to lose because Chelsea still have a chance of making it to Europe, but like I said, it's going to be over if we cannot keep that winning form. So I'll get to Chelsea just a minute, but yeah, but I will be watching that game, and hopefully Bournemouth can do us a favour and beat Manchester United, and yeah, and look, after the last three games in the international break, Manchester United only managed to pick up 2 points and still no win. So hopefully Bournemouth can make Manchester United more misery. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-1. The goal scorers for that one, Bournemouth, Donny Solanke and Billing to score for Bournemouth. And plus they have a good record at home, Bournemouth. So yeah. And they've only lost against Luton Town their last game, but I feel like they will bounce back. So yeah, 2-1 to Bournemouth is going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. Then we move on into Super Sunday games. The first one is Liverpool face Crystal Palace. Before I talk about that one, Liverpool got absolutely humbled, crumbled, destroyed by 10th place team Atalanta in Serie A. Not expected them. And I didn't expect this at all. I really didn't, because when you look at the two different leagues here, whoever finished first, they whether it's the Premier League or Serie A or La Liga, they're the favourites to win that game. So since Liverpool are in the title race and on the same points as Arsenal, I made them favourites. And my prediction when I watched that game was 3-1 to Liverpool because I believe that Atalanta will score and but I think Liverpool will win that game. But they didn't. Not only did Atalanta beat them, but it's the first time that they didn't allow Liverpool to score um, in all competitions because I can't remember the last time Liverpool had a game where they didn't score, something like that. Actually, no, it's that Man. Yeah, actually, yeah. So Atalanta, F, are the second team to not allow Liverpool to score a game because Man United did it first, and yesterday Atalanta did it second. So yeah, and I should have realized that Atalanta have a good record of going to Anfield because a couple of years ago they beat them 2-0. They beat them 2-0. I think that was during the pandemic or something like that. So yeah, that was a big game. But yeah, I mean Skamaka was really good in that game, and I don't think he was particularly doing well. Sorry guys, for West Ham last season. So I think letting Scamacca go to Atlanta did make sense. But Liverpool, their defense was absolutely horrific, especially for that second Scamacca goal, where it was like Konate played him on side. Nobody was concentrating on him, and Keller, by the way, he was absolutely horrendous in that game. The first goal should have done better. And even the third goal, first and third goals, he should have done at least better. So I think Kelleher was awful, but the defense was absolutely terrible as well. So yeah, Liverpool got absolutely destroyed, and I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. So fair play to Atalanta, man. They proved me wrong. They really proved me wrong. If Liverpool want to, if Liverpool want to, do well for Jurgen Klopp, they need to go. They need to do what they did against Barcelona because they're 3-0 down in the first leg, but they scored 4 goals and kept a clean sheet. So Liverpool need to do the same. If you know, Liverpool cannot lose or draw that game because, like I said, Atalanta are 3-0 up, and that's really truly game over. So listen, if Liverpool want to go through, they need to score either more than score 4 or more goals and keep a clean sheet as well. If they fail to do that, then it looks like imagine if Jurgen Klopp in his final season only wins the Carabao Cup. I mean, honestly, that would be funny. And I mean, if Chelsea would have won that game, imagine if Jurgen Klopp left with nothing. That would be absolutely hilarious. But he has won a trophy, but it's only the Carabao Cup, so yeah, but listen, I still think Liverpool can do it. But if they don't put in a performance like their best performance in Europe, then for me, I think Liverpool are only gonna win the Carabao Cup this season, if you know what I mean. So there we go. But listen, on Sunday they're up against Crystal Palace. Now, of course, Crystal Palace did manage to do well against Manchester City, but they lost 4-2 to them. After Kevin De Bruyne scored 2 really good goals, got the assist as well, and yeah, so listen, this game is at Anfield, and surely, Liverpool cannot afford to drop points in that game. And by the way, Atlanta are the first team to beat Liverpool at Anfield, in all competitions for the first time since Leeds did it in 2022. So Liverpool's 34 games unbeaten one at Anfield in all competition has come to an end. So there we go. So like I said, Liverpool would never ever do what Chelsea did, which is go 86 games unbeaten. No team will ever do that. So Stamford Bridge will still remain a fortress as the longest unbeaten ones, yeah, in home ones in Premier League history. Simple as that. But yeah, listen, Liverpool up against Crystal Palace, so yeah, I think Liverpool will bounce back and they need to. And they need to because surely they cannot go 3 games, yeah, is it 3 games? Yeah, 3 games without a win because they've drawn against Man United, they lost against Atalanta yesterday, and surely they cannot afford to drop points against Crystal Palace. And if they do, then honestly, Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp are in serious trouble, really serious trouble. So there we go. But listen, I think Liverpool bounce back, and I know I said 3-1 to Liverpool in the Atalanta game, but I'm gonna go for Liverpool win because Atlanta are in 10th, Crystal Palace are in 14th, and they're 5 points above the relegation. So Crystal Palace need to get the points, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. So yeah, Crystal Palace will score, but I think Liverpool are gonna get that win. So yeah, 3-1 to Liverpool. The goal scorers, I say McAllister to score, Mo Salah to score, Luis Diaz to score, for Crystal Palace, Eze to score, for Eze to score the only goal. So yeah, 3-1 to Liverpool is going to be my prediction for that game. And I have to tell you something, yeah, before I forget. The Premier League is different to the Champions League. That's what I'm going to say on that one. That's what I'm going to say. So, yeah. So it actually and the Europa League as well. So it's going to be very different. It's going to be very different. So there we go. So yeah, 3-1 Liverpool is going to be my prediction for that game to on Sunday. Right. The next one is West Ham United versus Fulham, a London derby. I think the Liverpool Palace game will be on TV. I don't think the West Ham Fulham game will be. So there we go. But yeah, West Ham United versus Fulham. Now, of course, West Ham have also lost yesterday against Bayer Leverkusen. Now, my prediction for that one, um, I think I said 2-0 to Leverkusen. Now, did I say 2-1? I can't remember. But all I know is that I know that West Ham, I mean, they can be disappointed, but they just need to realize that Leverkusen are, cannot be beaten this season. And imagine, yeah, if Leverkusen go for the entire season unbeaten, that'll be the best record, that'd be the best record, and that will certainly beat the Invincibles because the Invincibles only went unbeaten in the league. That is it. In the Champions League, they got knocked out. In the FA Cup and the League Cup, they got knocked out as well. For Leverkusen, they and by the way, if Leverkusen win their game on Sunday, then they'll lift the title. They'll lift the title. So yeah, so Leverkusen are in the DFB Pokal final. They're in a title race and they're doing well in the Europa League game against West Ham. So Leverkusen will not be beaten. And by the way, when I look at that stat, 33 shots, 13 on target, 67% possession, scored 2 goals. Xavi Alonso and Bayer Leverkusen are cooking. They really are. So West Ham, they can be disappointed and they got a job to do. But I think it's going to be very difficult because I think that game next Thursday is going to be the same thing. Leverkusen are going to dominate possession. They'll score a couple of goals and West Ham will be out. They will be out. So yeah. But going back to the Premier League game, um, they're up against Fulham. West Ham won their game against Wolves, and Fulham lost against Newcastle by a goal to nil. So listen, West Ham need to bounce back um, after that defeat yesterday, and I think they would. It's not going to be an easy game for both teams, but since this game is at the London Stadium, and since West Ham, and listen, by the way, look at this. If West Ham um, if West Ham win their game, and if West Ham win and we beat Fulham, and if Man United and Newcastle draw points, then West Ham will be back to sixth. They will be back to sixth, even though Man United and Newcastle do have a game in hand. So yeah, but for Fulham, like I said, it's a must-win game for them because they're not on 40 points. They're 1 point less than 40, if you know what I mean. So listen, Fulham, if they can't win their game against West Ham, then the next game, I'm hoping that they will because to me, they're not safe just yet. Even though it looks like it, they need to at least get to more than 40 points or more. So if Fulham can get a draw or beat West Ham, then they are safe. Then they are safe. So there we go. But listen, this game is at the London Stadium. I don't think Fulham are particularly doing well in London derbies, especially away from home. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a West Ham win of 2-1. Sorry, 2-1. Fulham goal scorer, Jimenez. West Ham United goal scorers, James Ward-Prowse and Jared Bowen to score. So yeah, 2-1 to West Ham, London Stadium. they will bounce back after that defeat against Leverkusen, and they've won 2-1 against Wolves, which I got that right. So I believe, yeah, that West Ham going to get another 2-1 win, but this time to their West London rivals, Fulham. So yeah, 2-1 to them. So East versus West London derby. So there we go. And then the big one, Una Emery, which Una Emery at Emirates Stadium. They're up against Arsenal. 4:30 p.m. kickoff. Big game. Big game. Now, like I said, if Arsenal if Arsenal win and if Liverpool and Man City drop points, then they could become the favourites. And all three teams, especially Tottenham, have the game in hand as well. So it's going to be very interesting for the title race. So listen, Arsenal, I mean, if Liverpool and Man City win their games, then Arsenal can afford to drop points against Aston Villa. Now we all know that Aston Villa um, beat um, beat Arsenal at Villa Park. That was after Manchester City after they beat Manchester City as well. But ever since then, when Man City faced Aston Villa last week, they beat them 4-1. So I believe that Arsenal are going to do the same thing. But I don't think Arsenal will concede, even though I do think it's going to happen. And I also do think that Ollie Watkins will cause a threat. For me, Gabriel and Winnie Saliba will do much better because, like I said, in the Champions League against Bayern, both of them were absolutely awful. I don't think they were that bad, but I don't think they were particularly that great. So I believe that 5 or 6 out of 10 was the right thing. But listen, Champions League is different than the Premier League. So yeah. And by the way, Arsenal still remain unbeaten in 2024, and if only conceded 4 times, just 4 times. So, and plus, David Dwyer had kept 12 clean sheets so far this season. So I think he might win the Golden Boot, Golden Glove. He might do. He might do. But yeah. So yeah, and it's all thanks to their defense for helping him. So there we go. So I feel like Arsenal will bounce back after that 2 to draw against Bayern, which by the way, I think Arsenal and Gabriel especially got lucky for not conceding that penalty and all that stuff because the rules say if you blow the whistle but then try to like grab the ball and pass it back to goalkeeper, and that's a penalty. So there we go. So I think Arsenal got lucky, but yeah, but listen, it's at the Emirates Stadium once again, so I believe that Arsenal get that win. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 Arsenal win. I feel like it's going to be another game where Arsenal don't concede goals, and it's going to be another win. And surely they have to, especially if Man City and Liverpool win their games on Sunday. So there we go. So the goal scorers for that one, Bukayo Saka, Leandro Trossard, and Kai Havertz to score. Even though I hate saying that, he's doing well for Arsenal this season, especially in the Premier League, scoring, having more contributions than Chelsea last season in the Premier League. So that's what you need to know about that one. So fair play to Kai Havertz, fair play to him. He's doing particularly well. And yeah, like the song says, 60 million. Oh, Oh yeah, waka waka. Yeah, it's I think it goes waka waka tamina mina tamin 60 million down the it's basically like 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again. So yeah, I feel like he will do the same thing against Aston Villa at the Emirates Stadium on Sunday. So yeah, 3-0 to them against Aston Villa is going to be my prediction for that one. Then the final one is on Monday Night Football, Chelsea versus Everton. I'm not going to talk about this too much because I'm going to be doing a match preview that'll be coming out on Sunday, so make sure you guys check that out. But I'm going to go for 2-2. But I'm thinking, yeah, if Chelsea win that game, I will not be surprised. I will not be because this season, when it comes to Monday Night Football, we particularly do well on Monday Night Football. Like the last game was against Newcastle on the Monday night, and we beat them 3-2. We faced Crystal Palace on the Monday night, we beat them 3-1. We faced Tottenham on the Monday night, we beat them 4-1. And we faced Luton Town and we beat them 3-0. So, yeah, sometimes we can do well on Monday Night Football. So maybe deep down, Chelsea could win. But listen, let's go ahead to ahead of ourselves. Everton, yesterday, sorry, 2 days ago, I got a 2 point deduction. So they're only 2 points above the relegation. So Everton need to pick up the points. And guess what? Chelsea are gonna do it because you're a charity club. We give teams points whenever they not do well this season. The likes of Sheffield United gave them a point, at Bramall Lane. After teams went there and destroyed them, putting 8, 6, 4, 5 past them, and we couldn't do that. We really couldn't do that. So yeah, for this game, I'm gonna go for 2-2 draw because I feel like we'll take the lead twice, but they will end up botting it like we always do. So yeah, not looking forward to that game. Even though we do want on Monday Night Football is against Everton, who are close to the relegation zone, and they need to pick up points, and we're gonna give them that. We are gonna give them that. So yeah, 2-2 draw on that game on Monday night. The goal scorers for that one. Um, Palmer to score twice for Everton, Calvin Lewin to score, and Decore to score for Everton as well. So yeah, that's my predicted goal scores for that game on Monday night. Palmer to score twice, Decore and Calvin Lewin to score for Everton, and that will be it. So yeah, 2-2 draw on that game on Monday night. All right, guys. So that is all, and that is my predictions. Let me go through them one more time. So Saturday's games, earlier kickoff, Newcastle to get that 3-1 win against Tottenham. Then a 1-1 draw between Brentford, Sheffield United, and Burnley, Brighton, a 1-1 draw as well. For Man City, 2-0 win against the Hatters, Luton Town. Not so voice. I predict them to beat Wolves by 3 goals to 1. Then a Saturday Night Football, I went for Bournemouth Cherries 2-0 win against the Red Devils Manchester United. Then on Super Sunday's games, I'm going for the Reds 3-1 win um, against against the Eagles. Then the next one I've gone for West Ham 3-2-1 win against Fulham, which is the Cottages, against away to the Hammers. Now I've gone for the Gunners 3-0 win against the Villas at the Emirates Stadium. Then finally on the Monday Night Football, I've gone for the Blues, Chelsea, and Everton, the Toffees, a 2-2 draw at Stamford Bridge. So there we go. So that is all my Premier prediction for this weekend's match day or game week number 33. So let me know in the comments down below whether you agree or disagree with any of my predictions in this video. And what's your predictions? Let me know in the comments down below as well. Do you think that and will you guys see a shock like the one in the game against Liverpool Atalanta where Atalanta beat them 3-0? That was an absolute shock for Europe. So if you guys can see that the same thing in the Premier League, let me know in the comments down below. But guys, like I said, tomorrow I'm gonna go for match day 32 because I didn't predict that one because I was very, very busy. So tomorrow I will go over and tell you guys how many points I got overall, and I'll be talking the main points of that game as well. Then on Sunday, I'm going to be doing the preview for the Chelsea Everton game. Since that game will be on the Monday night, so make sure you guys check that out. Then on Monday, live watch long and a match reaction to that game as well. So very busy stuff going on from today until Monday night, but hopefully I won't be able to miss any of those ones. So there we go. All right, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, click the subscribe button if you're new to this channel, hit the bell notification as well, and share this video to all your friends and your family. And yeah, so guys, that is all I've got. That is all I've got for you in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the games. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys again very, very soon. So as always, big up your damn selves. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll catch you guys again very soon. I'm out of here, people. Peace.